Okay, since I was able to get my hands on Oliva oil in 2021, I have been preaching the gospel. And if you don't know what Oliva oil is, it is an at-home infuser. It infuses everything. So whether you want to get a little bit more creative with your food or you like relaxing bombs that you can make, this machine is here to help you. They're always expanding and they're always growing. You can save 10% by using the code Tutia Bruja. And if gummies are something you have a difficult time with, they have a little mixer that is perfect. So check them out today, olivaoil.com.
Hola, bienvenidos, and welcome to Tu Tía Bruja. I'm Bex Carlos. My voice sounds absolutely terrible, but I need to put this out into the world. Happy 222. This angel number has a lot of different significances associated with like positive change, with your love life and your finances. And I think the two are very much tied together. The reason that I had to hop on and record this is because I've had a lot of thoughts for a while, but today I listened to Misha Barton's episode of Call Her Daddy, and I'm going to say right off the bat, I am a fucking sucker for the OC. Okay? I was 13 years old when that shit came out. Love it. To this day. Whenever I get really, really, really low, I rewatch it as a way to be reminded that things can potentially be okay again. I'm unable to rewatch it in Mexico because I don't know what streaming service it's on. And right now I don't want to support much of them anyway, because Free Palestine. You know, she talked about how she has become more of a girl's girl in the last few years and how she had to go through a lot of really tumultuous and toxic interactions with romantic partners and just men, period, to really kind of make her that way. And it really got me thinking because I feel like I have not always been a girl's girl. It's something that I'm working on. I grew up in a family that had like femmes in that household, and I feel like that set me up to allow a lot of psychological torment in a lot of my relationships. Because that's the thing about sisters. Sisters will torture you and then ask you if you want to watch like the Powerpuff Girls. That's just how it is. And from the time that I was like young, I feel like I hung out with a lot of men. Not men, but like guys, right? I wasn't a child hanging out with grown men. But anyway, I always hung out with guys. And I think I had this like mentality, right? Like most fucking pick-me's and most fucking like self-hating women, that they're easier to get along with. They're easy to get along with because men are very simple. And it's taken me a very long time to realize this. Men are so motivated by their own needs and wants. They really only see what they want. It took one of my closest friends and former fiance really letting me down, really betraying me, to realize that men are weak. They will literally throw away people just to get laid. You know, it just really kind of broke my heart. This isn't to say that we should have stayed in each other's lives, because on the other side, we were both very toxic to each other. He emotionally neglected me. That caused me to lash out and be very unkind. And we both did a disservice to each other. So I know it's for the best. I think that after everything that we went through, I really wanted to sit down and have a talk and maybe have someone mediate. And I think the thing that like really broke me was, after everything we've been through, I have physical reminders and pain that I will never get rid of because of you. And the fact that after everything we've been through, you could say to me, you want to have a conversation in person? Oh, if you need that, sure. Because you know that you did me dirty and you couldn't even be in the same room as me. That caused something inside of me to break. But I think I needed it to break. If I wasn't already ready to have ran away to Mexico, I sure as fuck was after that happened. It's been since I've been in Mexico that I've realized that there is something about the power of friendship between women and femmes that is so powerful and amazing in a way that none of my friendships with any man have ever been. My cousin, bless her heart, is one of the most amazing people I've ever met. And she had a friend who got in a really gnarly car accident. And she's alive, thank God, but she has been through hell and back. The way that her female friends have supported her, gone above and beyond, is so amazing and powerful. And I'm just like, wow. It's making me really consider a lot of my friendships because a lot of my friendships I've realized were very one sided. And with making changes for my life and for making changes of who I want in my life, I am not dealing with the bare minimum anymore. I am liberating myself. And I hope all you girlies, gays, and theys, I hope you too free yourself from the bare minimum because it's not enough and we don't deserve mediocre love. We don't deserve mediocre friendships. I've been thinking a lot about a lot of the women in my life and femmes who really have supported me and helped me even when there was a past of animosity. Shout out to Nina Blanco. She just recorded an episode last week in which she thanked me, said that I was a big factor in that she did Galentine's Day this year. I was humbled by that. I was like, wow, I love that just by asking you to collaborate on something, I reassured you that something that you were doing was important. And that's the thing too. Like, there are so many women and femmes that I know that are building things and doing things and really like stepping into who they are in a way that I don't see like cis men doing, And I think one of the things that's so frustrating is like so many cis men that I know just like spend all of their time playing video games or getting fucked up, And it's like, don't you have any desire to do anything else? Are you really that empty inside that you have to fill yourself with like stuff that doesn't have any value? And like, not to shame people who play video games and not to shame getting fucked up because everybody has their vices. But it's like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, maybe it's because I'm a very driven person, and maybe it's because I have a lot of things that I'm trying to do before I die. So maybe I just don't get it from that standpoint. But I also just feel like so many men are coddled that they're like perfect little princesses. They have these unrealistic expectations of what they want. I don't know. I was talking to my mom, said this thing to me years ago that really stuck with me. And it was that when you are with a man, you end up finishing the job his mother started. And with complete disrespect, most of you white moms out there really didn't do a good job. And also, white supremacy is bred in the home. And I don't think that that's something that we talk about enough. I think the thing that really fucked with my head the other day, I was listening to an episode of Glamorous Trash, and they were reviewing Crystal Hefner's book. And one of the things that she said that really fucking scarred me mentally, but really made a lot of things like epiphany clear, was a young man talking about how Hugh Hefner taught him how to treat women. We are dealing with men who learned how to treat women from Hugh Hefner and Andrew Tate and fucking toxic ass men. I saw this thing that was talking about how most men really don't have respect or admiration for women in the way that they do men. And it's just like, well, duh, that makes sense. And my biggest issue is people who will swear up and down and say things and like, da, 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 but their actions don't match their words. Baby, that's manipulation. You can talk pretty all you want, but unless you are actually reinforcing and doing the things that you say you're going to do, it doesn't matter. You are manipulating someone. I hope all of us on this 222 are learning to accept more in our relationships, in our work dynamics, because when you play small, you are only letting other people take advantage of you. And baby, you're a witch. We don't get manipulated. You know what? I will say one thing. I am thankful to my ex because you made me realize something. I am never going to allow the bare minimum in my life again. To quote Terry Genderbender, your weakness gives me life, and I'm living, baby. Anyway, thank you for listening. I really appreciate you being here. And if this was something that resonated with you, please share it with a friend. I'm going to link that Misha Barton episode in the show notes because I'd really like for you to check it out, especially if you are an OC girly. My voice is about to give out, so final thoughts, Free Palestine, and everyone else who is suffering from colonial violence. May we one day meet someone who we don't have to beg for the bare minimum. But until then, may we focus and love ourselves unconditionally. Bye, y'all.
Yeah.